Belong to the men's junior race. A record 114 entries here from 26 countries. This is an event that's going to be contested over 6,000 metres. No short laps in this race, just straight into the long 1,500 metre circuit, and they go around that 4 times. Once again, you can see us going through the runners. You can see at the bottom, it says there, maximum of 6 athletes for every country can be on a start line. Only 4 count for the team results. This could be a very interesting race indeed, whereas with the exception of the Romanian silver medalist Duaga, the junior women's did go somewhat to form. However, this looks like being an extremely open race. There's no clear favourites. Rui Pinto, you can see there, number 254. Well, he was the bronze medalist last year in Portugal and has had a very good winter in Portuguese races. But one would have to say, well, he's probably one person who's happy that the conditions are firmer than anticipated. Portuguese runners, well, 12 years ago, they did take the gold and silver medals in the senior men's race. Paulo Guerra and Eduardo Henriquez. But you wouldn't normally expect Portuguese runners to feel as comfortable in these sort of conditions as they might in home territory. It's the biggest race of the day, and there you can see the runners being told that they've got 3 minutes to get themselves sorted out. Well, we're focusing there on Aaron Toth, 17 years of age, from Hungary. Just to look at potentially some of the favourites in this race, we have Belgium's Emmanuel Lejeune, silver medalist over 10,000 metres at the European Junior Championships. The French rate Romain Collinot-Spiriet very highly. He finished 11th last year, but has been running extremely well in French races this winter. Jonathan Hay from Great Britain, 5,000 metres bronze medalist in Tallinn. There we see the Belgian team, and I did mention Lejeune. Norway, Slovenia, France. There we see Collinot-Spiriet. His 6 teammates. Well, France could be good contenders for a medal in the team competition. Portugal, despite their fine tradition, have never won a junior men's gold medal. Jonathan Hay there, the curly hair of the diminutive British runner. And by contrast, we just saw him very briefly there, Ilzagar Safiullin, tall Russian 3,000 metres steeplechase gold medalist back in the summer when those European Junior Championships were held in the Estonian capital. Waiting for the gun to go on this race, the second of 6 at the 2011 Spa European Cross Country Championships. There we go, 114 runners on their way, and we can see Rui Pinto and his teammate Emmanuel Rollim. They worked very hard to get themselves clear. Showing at this very early stage, Ferdinand Kavan Edman from Norway. Aaron Toth, we saw him a little bit earlier, and his Hungarian colleague Szezba Matko. Form always very difficult to assess in the junior races. We have been helped by, of course, the European Junior Championships this summer. Sadly, the very, very talented Spaniard, Gabriel Navarro, is unable to be here. Suffered a viral infection in October. So there we've got the two Hungarians at the front. Slight surprise there. Szezba Marko and Aaron Toth. It's still a very, very long way to go. Barely 400 metres of running. They've got another 5,500 metres still to go. You can see the Portuguese packing well there. There was three together in the leading pack. Tall figure of Lejeune. Easy to spot because of his black hat. And also Safiullin as well. Another very tall figure there. Hay on the inside. A bit further back after that. Quick sprint over the first 150 metres is Pinto and Rollim, but I can see them there in about 15th, 20th place at the moment. Well, we can see in second place there the very tall figure of the Russian as we snake around the first major turn. Safiullin was a very, very impressive winner of the 3,000 metre steeplechase in Tallinn. Set a Russian junior record. So, Szezba Matko from Hungary is gradually being reeled in by the rest of the field. Much more slighter figure there of Safiullin's compatriot, Andrei Rusakov. Well, Rusakov was 6th in this race last year. And the Russians also have a great history in the junior men's event. We remember the two Russians, Yevgeny Rybakov and Anatoly Rybakov, twin brothers who dominated this event. Yevgeny Rybakov winning 2 years in succession back in the middle 2000s. Not difficult to tell the two Russians apart. We can also see Mosayev and Nikitin there. So the Russians at this stage, very early proceedings, just over a kilometre underway, are doing extremely well in the team race. Three Russians abreast there. The one we haven't really mentioned is Vitaly Mosayev, first in the Russian Junior 10,000 metres championship. Just missed out on a medal. He was 4th in Tallinn, so a talented distance runner himself. And we can see the bearded figure of Kolonet Spiriot just up there as well. So 4 Russians to the front, 4 here. There we see 1.5 kilometers. 4:36. But a big pack. Still all very much together. Starting to string out a little bit behind Safiullin. There's Lejeune after his early start. Lejeune is struggling. He's right at the back of the race. Doesn't look at all comfortable. And this was a man who won a silver medal at 10,000 meters on the track. Yes, Russia comfortably in the lead at the moment after that first 1.5 kilometer lap. Russia have got 5 gold medals, including individual and team titles, during the course of these championships. Two Spaniards there. We saw the backs of 69 on the left of your screen. That's Daniel Arce. Still Safulin and the rest of the Russians really working hard at the front there, making the pace. Safulin, Rusakov and Mosayev up at the front. Jonathan Hay currently in about 5th position. See there, Spanish and the British all in contention for the medals as well. French perhaps not doing quite as well as we were expecting. A couple of Turkish runners up there as well. They're the men wearing the long sleeves. So it's still Safulin up at the front, with Rusakov and Nikitin just behind him. Looks as though Safulin's just starting to increase the pace a little bit at this stage. Rusakov following him. Senov from Bulgaria doing very well as well up there. The only Bulgarian competitor in this race, 18 years of age. Got Mehmet Emin Tan from Turkey also doing extremely well. Can definitely tell you Senov from Bulgaria was not a person I expected to be up there. Only 8th in the Balkan Junior Cross-Country Championships this year, so having a great run at this stage. And despite the rocking head, still looking extremely comfortable. Now Jack Goodwin from Britain, we saw just go through the picture. Now you can see, as we're getting into the second half of the race, the runners starting to string out. So we've just gone through the 3 kilometer point. Russia comfortably in front in the team standings. The British runners getting up there. See Hay. Goodwin. They're both in the top 10. Should say it's Richard Goodman, not his colleague Jack Goodwin. Number 1, 2, 3 on his back. Also doing well is Kieran Clements, the English schools cross-country champion. So in the top 6 we have 3 Russians, 2 British and a Frenchman, with Ru Pinto and Mehmet Tan from Turkey just behind them. Sanov, after showing well over the first half of the race, now starting to drift back. He's lying in 9th. But it's still that tall, rangy figure. Ilzagar Safulin. Rusakov just looking around there, just checking what's going on. This race now starting to take shape, leading 6 runners and then 3 behind them. And of course, despite their young ages, these are all very talented teenagers, and nearly all of them do have experience of major championships, whether they were running here before or, as I mentioned, the European Junior Championships. Jonathan, or as he prefers to be called, Johnny Hay. Good range as well. Has a good finishing kick. He's the British Junior Champion this year at 1500 metres as well. We haven't really talked very much about Romain Kolinot-Spir yet. They did win the French Junior Championships across country earlier this year, and has had some excellent performances in French cross-country races during November. So there you can hear the bell. 1,500 metres to go. Safulin, as he's done for much of the race, leading the way. His colleagues Rusakov and Nikitin running alongside him. Johnny Hay also up there. Just 2 seconds adrift. Let's see what he can do over the last lap. Last year's bronze medalist Ru Pinto from Portugal. 12th and 13th British runners, Fleming and Shaw. That could be crucial for the team contest. This could well come down to Russia or Great Britain's 4th runner. And at the moment, this is a very tight contest. Fleming and Shaw, as we were saying, well up there. Just looking for the 4th Russian runner at the moment. Mosayev, who was with the group earlier. He's been drifting steadily back. So it's Richard Goodman now, throwing down the gauntlet to his Russian rivals. And last year, he didn't compete at the Spa European Cross Country Championships, but he was 5th as a junior and as a 15-year-old back in 2009. Still only 18 years of age. 1993 birthday, so if Goodman was to win this, he'd be able to come back and defend his title, just like his female compatriot Emilia Goretzka, who we saw winning the junior women's race just a short while ago. But it is in fact Safulin. He saw the danger presented by Goodman, and just threw down the gauntlet once again. Stretched those very, very long legs of his. And it's a very ungainly stride. But it's very, very effective indeed. So the top four at the moment, it's Safiullin, Goodman, Rusakov, and the Frenchman Colonel Spiriet. Well, he's working very, very hard at the front, but he's not breaking them. And a little bit of the strain is on his face, although it has to be said that Goodman is also looking as though he's having to work very hard. And this is a very strong kick indeed. He's not pulling away from his three main rivals. Goodman, in fact, is just closing the distance over that last 100 metres. There we can see it's come down from 5 metres down to 2. And Rusakov starting to motor as well. Well, in the long shot we saw a few seconds ago, Rusakov did look a little bit more comfortable than the other two. So this is turning into a thrilling race for the medals. Safiullin, Rusakov from Russia, Richard Goodman from Great Britain. We're back in fourth and starting to struggle a little bit. France's Romain Colonot-Spiriet. I think these runners know now that they have every chance of being under the medals. Just see further back, Peter Jan Hannes has come through very well. The Belgian is now in 5th place with 6th, Rue Pinto. But I think Pinto's left his efforts too late. But here we go now. This could be the decisive surge from Safiullin. He's working very, very hard down that slight downhill patch, and he's managing to put some distance between himself. So he's coming into the finishing straight. It's Safiullin from Russia. Safiullin working very hard. This is probably going to be his 2nd gold medal of the year. Safiullin eases up as he goes through the line, but he's the junior men's champion for 2011 at the Spa European Cross Country Championships. A fantastic run there for Safiullin. Doesn't win many prizes for his running technique, but he's actually winning an awful lot of races. He adds a gold medal to his collection, which started in Tallinn this summer when he won the 3,000 metre steeplechase at the European Athletics Junior Championships. Well, I can tell you we're waiting for confirmation of who got the silver and bronze medals. The judges are examining a photo finish. 2 men in contention are Richard Goodman and I do have to say, I was saying it Rusakov, but it is in fact Vladimir Nikitin. Rusakov drifting back a little bit over the final 500 metres. Here we see the rest of the 114 runners coming home. And it's going to be very close in the team standings as well between Great Britain and Northern Ireland and Russia, who takes the team gold medals. Now there we see the Estonian runner, Andy Newt, having his moment in the sun. Well, the Poles, one-time winners of the team gold medals. A few years ago in 2006. On this occasion, though, they're going to be out of the medals, but congratulating themselves on a very good race. And the rest of the runners coming through. Here we see the highlights. This is that race to get pole position over the first 500 meters. Nice shot there of the conditions. A very nice shot there of Safiullin in the early stages of the race. Thanks to the fact that there's not been very much rain here. Still very lush, very green around this, the Shaliska Delina Park. Here we see Ilzagar Safiullin allows himself a little smile as he crosses the line. An excellent performance there. Richard Goodman falls to the floor, but the victor, well, managing to stay upright. Do have that extra little bit of steel in your legs when you know you're going to get a gold medal hung around your neck shortly. So Safiullin adds his name to that roll call of Russian champions from the past. Remember back in 2002, Yevgeny Rybakov got the first of his 2 individual gold medals with his brother Anatoly in silver, and those positions were repeated the following year in 2003. There we have confirmation. Ilgazar Safiullin, the winner, 17 minutes 49 seconds for that 6 kilometre course, 2 seconds in a rear, Richard Goodman. And after the photo finish, Vladimir Nikitin will take the bronze medals. Romain Connet Spiriot from France in 4th place. Noticeable over the last lap, the other Russian runners, though, did fade rather dramatically. Nikitin and Safiullin held their own, but the other Russian runners, Rusakov drifted back. Eventually finishing 6th. We saw the other Russian runners, Mosayev and Strelkov, also doing well over the first 3 laps, but finding 4 laps a more testing exercise. Well, we wait for the medals to be presented. You can see there once again the wonderful scenery and the wonderful setting of this town of Volhynia. Very gracious host, very friendly host. Of course, enthusiastic about cross-country running here, but also this is very much a home of skiing. Many top ski jumping events held here, cross-country skiing. The other great loves of Slovenian sporting fans. So just to give you a rundown of what we've got in store for you during the rest of the day. Very shortly, in about 17 minutes, we'll have the women's under-23 race. You saw a very brief glance of the timetable. Yes, 12:07 is the scheduled start for the senior women's under-23 race. 12:52 for the under-23 men's. Senior women's 13:41. Senior men 14:33. And of course, those are all Central European time. Deduct 1 hour for GMT. And you can see the 3 men who will get the medals here at the 2011 Spa European Cross Country Championships. The medals to be presented by European Athletics Vice President Karol Pilny, who comes from the Czech Republic. So, 3rd place and the bronze medal winner, representing Russia, Vladimir Nikitin. Excellent run there from the 19-year-old. 2nd in the Russian Junior Cross Country Championships earlier this year. Now 3rd overall in Europe. A very happy Richard Goodman. Well, we saw him collapsing after the line, but didn't take long to revive, get his spirits back, and you can see a big smile on the British runner's face there. But in 1st place, and the European Cross Country Championships Junior Men's winner, Ilgazar Safyulin, European champion for the 2nd time this year, following his steeplechase victory at the European Junior Championships in July. So now the Russian national anthem. There we have it, Russia's Ilgazar Safyulin, the winner of the junior men's gold medal here at the 2011 Spa European Cross Country Championships, accompanied on the podium by Richard Goodman and Vladimir Nikitin. Well, we're still waiting for confirmation here of the team results. Russia, of course, leading very well during the early stages of the race. I do have a feeling that the British men may have packed well enough and the Russians faded, or at least the 4th scorer. Was fading badly on that last lap and may just have left the door open for Great Britain to take their 3rd title of these championships. European athletics officials making sure Mr. Safyulin knows what he's doing, and he's not going to run away. There's confirmation of the top 10 results. Safiullin, Goodman, Nikitin from Russia, Great Britain, Russia. And then Colonet Spiriot coming through for 4th place. No 4th Russian just at the moment. Farah giving the cross-country season, giving the cross-country